So, we're done.
Yep.
Ooh.
Good game, everyone.
Woo!
Good game.
Woo!
So, there's only one mystery left, and that is, what did the whiskey actually taste like?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I got some whiskeys here.
Just like, so I went spelunking.
So I went spelunking.
We've got the disclaimer that we're all over the age of whatever the legal age for drinking is, right?
Yeah, wherever you are, we're
Wherever
over
you
it.
are.
I'm 59 years old.
I don't know what the local age is of wherever that is, but
Well, that one's
I want
unopened.
to go there.
What is unopened? Oh, is that the wrong one? That might be the wrong
Do you have
one.
an open?
Let's see, what did I grab? Yeah, fuck it, let's open it. Demonetized.
You want to open it because you're not drinking it very much.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's only when they're like really close to empty
Gotcha.
that's a big deal.
I mean, you probably have other things that are open that we can.
Well, I have these three, so let's stick with these
Yeah,
three.
I mean,
Put
exactly.
that one
I
back in
don't
the box.
think now's probably not the time to.
You guys saw this one in the cave, but you didn't taste it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. No, these three.
That was
were-
the one that
There's
hot
the
dripping down the walls.
Actually, you know what? I wanted to do four, so let me just, I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
Bye! This will be the one it didn't taste like.
Why's that?
Because it's just not the type of whiskey that it was.
Oh.
Well, we need something to contrast it to.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what?
Oh.
I'll actually start with that one.
So you know how good whiskey can be, not cave whiskey.
Yeah, and for anyone who's a whiskey aficionado, I'm doing this in the worst order.
Is anybody here into whiskey besides Joe?
Nope.
So we're gonna go.
None of us know what we're doing.
We're gonna go this way.
Okay.
Fit for a king.
So yeah, these three are all peated, which is effectively the whiskey I described to you, and this one is not. But it's really good. Hence the name, Fit for a King. Yeah. But while I'm pouring these, let's talk about the campaign. What did you guys think was gonna happen?
No idea.
I honestly had no
Did
idea.
not know what was gonna happen.
I was hopeful that we would reunite with our souls. Wait, are we recording?
Yeah, these should all be on.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check this one.
Yeah, let's just check and then we'll jump
And
back in. I think
Audio's
I
on?
Yeah.
This one's good.
Alright.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, you know, I played D&D a little bit before. Like, I was always kind of like getting campaigns starting characters, and then like getting like 2 or 3 sessions in, and then it kind of fizzling out. That was my experience with D&D for years. So this was like the most D&D consistently that I played. So I was like very much like learning, relearning. It's also
Pass that
like
around.
my first time, I think, doing 4th edition or 5th edition, whatever the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, this was a homebrew, so it's kind of like.
And the homebrew
Yeah.
rules as well with the 0 level thing. Like, yeah, it was just all really interesting to learn and adapt to, and obviously, like, I really enjoy the roleplay aspect, so that was super fun, and yeah, made a bunch of friends along the way.
If this was not enough for anyone, I can pour more. I just thought we'd just do little samples.
Just a tall glass, please.
Just
I'll
fill it.
spend the night. It's fine.
I do have to say I was, I mean, it was mostly what I was expecting going into it. Like, it was very dark themes. I think that, like, yeah, there were definitely some aspects there that I wasn't expecting, like the bones being so forefront, like everything being bony, and then like the bony caterpillars
Flesh.
and like
Flesh
I love a
mountains.
bone.
yeah. like the very it's very like
Yeah.
on like it was very centralized surrounding like flesh
Yeah,
and
yeah.
blood and bones, and like it wasn't necessarily death, it was anatomy almost.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it was kind of almost like when Rick and Morty go like to the underworld to like get the Hellraiser demons.
Oh, the Hellraiser. Yeah.
Oh, I think I watched up to like season 3 or 4 Rick and Morty, so I probably don't remember that one.
But it's kind of like a funny take on that like Hellraiser universe where it's just like pain and destruction, but it's just silly and comical.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
think everyone, maybe Vito, this might have been the first time you played D&D with me until like you joined the other campaign that I was not recording, but I think everyone knows that I don't run a super serious campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think we had depth to it, but it wasn't like, the serious tones you're going to get from like a Lord of the Rings style sort of thing. It's more like a adventure time.
Definitely had
exactly.
like WWE wrestlers in it.
Exactly.
Brother.
No, that's exactly what I was expecting. I feel like that was like probably I don't know. I've lost count how many times I've been in your campaigns, but
A lot.
a lot. So I feel like it was just gonna be for me. I was expecting it to be just very similar but recorded. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think the level 0 mechanic ended up being pretty interesting because I feel like even into the second season, there were so many points where we overestimated how powerful we were. And I mean, that's a classic D&D thing to overestimate the power of your party, but also it's like you kind of forget that like you don't have spell slots or you only like you have less spell slots than a level 1 player would have, and so like the management of things and like the types of options you have in front of you are very different, and it fit the theme really well, and it worked well I think with our characters. It was something I was worried about when we started, is like, oh, like we're forever gonna be like level 0 characters. Like that's the part you always want to get over in a campaign and get to be powerful. But also it fit the narrative because our characters were once powerful and wanted to be able to do more, and then be like, oh well, like what are we gonna do about this bone dragon? Well, we're gonna run. And
Yeah, I don't know if I would do level 0 again, but I'm glad that you guys, or at least Clay, didn't feel like it was the worst thing ever, because it was definitely an experiment. That's good.
I think I did like it, but I feel like the amount of time we were level 0 probably would have been like, it would be nicer if it was like a shorter amount of time, like if it was just season 1. And then that way it would have, I think that would be a good balance, because I guess the action economy just
Yeah, that was the thing, is combat was always a little bit wanting, I think is how I felt about it.
Yeah.
It was this weird thing, because you guys basically were immune from any fight I could throw at you as long as I kept the damage types under 5.
Right.
Yeah.
And then otherwise it's just dodging specific kinds of attacks, but we can't really because we have crap AC and like,
exactly.
so it's either lethal or it's easy, and there wasn't really any in between.
I think that's why for me a lot of the fun was when we were not in combat in the campaign.
Absolutely.
And there was a lot more of that than there was like strict, here we're going to use the map combat. I think we had maybe like 5 or 6 of those total. But there was interesting ways you guys had that going about. I thought like there were definitely some boring ones, and I think probably the most boring of the fights was the one we had with the demon when in the cauldron. For me as a DM, I'm sitting there just like watching you guys like, all right, we poke him.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we spice this up? But
Yeah, like Clay said, we kind of overestimated our power a bit, but at the same time, we were kind of invulnerable in almost every fight in a way, right? So it was kind of more of just an annoyance how much damage types we took.
Yeah.
The exhaustion levels were good because like after a certain number of times we were hit with different types, like we weren't able to hit back as easy because we got the disadvantage on our attack rolls.
So
there
it made
was
it more
that.
interesting in a way because it was like more strategic about like, do we have to get out of this fight or
Right.
Yeah.
Like how quickly do you need to get out because suddenly your speed's going to be halved, so
Right,
you need to get out sooner rather than later. You can't wait until you're at like 10 HP because that's not how this works anymore.
Yeah, like D&D, you get to 1 HP, it's fine. It's the same as if you had full HP mechanically speaking. And so there was, I think we did have that like fear of taking on too much damage. Like the first point or 2 in combat, it was like, aha, I don't care. And then you take on 3 points and you're like, no, please don't have any more
And then
attacks.
we had to manage that in between fights as well, right?
Yeah.
We had to use our healing kits to wipe off damage types and stuff. And,
Yeah, it was good.
That's good. How did everyone like the whiskey that was not what was in the cave?
You know, I'm a cave whiskey guy.
I am a cave whiskey guy.
Say no more. Let's open up the first one that was inspiring the cave whiskey. So pass me your glasses back, but do it one at a time so you get the right
So
one.
it's in order.
Yeah,
It's in order.
I'll do Conrad. And as I open this bottle, I'm gonna ask the second question, which is, are there any questions you have for me about the campaign? I know Swap asked one while we were on break, but I was just wondering, going around, so we'll start with Emily.
Oh, but I need to think.
All right, I'll start with Swap.
I think there was like, were there any parts like parts of the campaign that you had planned for us that you thought that we would do, but that didn't work out? So
things that I planned that you guys didn't do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as you probably are well aware, because you've played a lot of D&D with me, I don't plan out too much because I know that when you plan something, that's almost a surefire way for it to not happen.
Yeah.
But I wanted this to be a little different. I wanted to make sure you guys had a full-fledged world to play in. I wanted to make sure there was an actual arc. So the biggest thing that I planned out was the underworld itself. And the biggest thing that was planned out that you guys didn't get to do was the other 2 layers. So there was full-on things that you could have experienced in the bottom 2 layers, so the pits and the depths, that we never got to. And it was going to happen if you guys were acting like complete assholes, which you never did.
Okay.
Because the whole idea was...
Go team.
Not acting like assholes.
Like, the whole idea would be if you got to finish the quest earlier, so you got to the 3 stages and got to the Grove of Bones and gone through there, you would have maybe gone to the depths and gone to the pits or the depths and had to redeem yourselves and come back.
Wow.
But we never had the time or the... I didn't pour myself one. Time or the reason to do it, because you guys were always acting in the good alignment. Gotcha. The other big thing that I planned that you guys...
Were we always acting in the good alignment? I think we did do a flash heist.
that ended up being in the good.
Yeah, exactly.
It started off questionable, but then we
did killed that big blobfish thing that was my son. Was that?
That was pretty neutral.
That was neutral.
I
I feel like it attacked us.
first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The big thing was that I planned out all of session 1 to have 3 different options. And if you guys recall, there were 3 specific options there. One was you could have gone to the fighting pits where those people were fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
There was the person by the lake, and then there also was the imp cave, and you guys chose the imp cave. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of progressed on from there. But you guys eventually did go to the other options.
Yeah.
I think the only one was like you never did take the night hag up on her journey.
Yeah.
Which would have been a way to send you to the lower levels, because she would have tried to take your soul from you, and then it would have ended up down there, and you would have had to claim it back. But you guys eventually did go to the fighting pits on your way back, so we did circle that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it wasn't till after that first session that I ended up planning out the 3 sage thing.
Okay.
Like, I had the one quest, like, oh, you have to go get this guy's eyes back, but then I think in between session 1 and session 2, I was thinking about, like, what I wanted you guys to actually do, what your hero's journey was going to be. And it was like, oh, there are 3 sages, they control the passage of people in and out of this realm, and their power is gone, you guys need to get it back. And then it was like, the monkeys see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. I don't know if anyone picked up on that or not. But then that's how the sages were born. And then it's like, okay, well, now I know what you guys are going to do. I don't really need to plan the rest of this because I know the beats you need to hit in the story. It's like, you need to find this sage, you need to find this sage, you need to find this sage, you need to help them, you need to help them, you need to help them. And then the specifics of how you do that is going to depend on what you guys do.
Yeah.
And the unconventional nature of the ears that were eyes and eyes that were heads.
Well, you guys were so fixated on the literal part of it. I'm like, I have to make this a little bit more interesting. So it's like, you're not seeing it coming because you're like, oh, we're looking for ears. It's like, no.
The valley itself is a sage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that stuff was all really fun.
Yeah, Bo was probably one of my favorite NPCs throughout the whole thing. I love Bo.
I do have a couple questions. One, what would have happened to Samson if he didn't give up the demon shield?
That was great.
I thought about this a lot.
2, what was your favorite part of the campaign?
Ooh, those are so. I'll answer the shield one first. So the short answer is, I hadn't fully made up my mind about what would happen, but I have an idea of what would have, because I was very confident that you would give up the shield.
Yeah.
and then would have progressed forward. But I think what would have happened is Samson would have left the party earlier and had been pushed to the depths.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Because carrying that shield was not going to be something that was going to get you
Yeah.
to the Halo Haze, because you only got there by doing good.
Right.
And definitely getting cursed and then siding with the cursed demon
Yeah.
would not have been that. So you would have ended up in the depths, and then the specifics of what would have happened, I would have had to really think about.
He would have had his own little side quest.
I think what would have happened is probably like 20 minutes with the party, 5 minutes with Samson. 20 minutes with the party, 5 minutes with Samson.
That would be so hard to manage.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it before. I've seen parties split and we like bounce back and forth between them, so it's not something out of the ordinary. But then, easy part of that question is, what was my favorite part? Obviously, the Wizard King was my favorite part of the campaign.
Yes.
Just like derping around with a weird character. That's my favorite part of any campaign.
Yeah.
I really liked the wish room, and specifically like Jens's hyper suspicion about the cookies. Like, this has to be evil, and it was. And I without spoiling any of Emily's backstory, because I want her to tell you guys, but like the fact that all of his items were things that he got from his patron, aka Emily's dad.
Nice.
Which was just like a really fun way to tie it back to Emily's backstory without anyone really picking up on it in the campaign and character. I'm pretty sure you guys might have picked up on that IRL.
Just giving Orpheus anxiety.
Yeah.
My question is, why did Deirdre send us down here in the first place?
Because you all had selfish motivations for becoming heroes, and she needed you to become selfless so that you could truly help save the world.
Oh, so it is tied to saving. It is tied to saving the world.
Or just becoming better people. Like, Deirdre just wanted you to become better.
Why does Deirdre want us to become better?
Deirdre is
Because
very...
she's the best.
Yeah, Deirdre's very chaotic and also good, despite many people's beliefs.
Despite the rumors.
But she's just very chaotic. So she's like, you know what? I want these people to be better, so I'm going to force them into a situation where they have to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it was just fun for me to have this NPC that you guys know from another campaign send you in there.
So it's like The Good Place, but in reverse. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's why once you guys get out of it, we can't have more seasons, because like The Good Place, it'll be a ruined show.
good.
We'll move beyond the Yeah, if anyone's a fan of The Good Place, I'm sorry, it sucked after they got out of it. It's like they had no point to the plot device
I
anymore.
think it's a perfect show.
I think it's a perfect show. I feel like
I really liked it.
Joe.
Thank you.
They kept it interesting by bringing it different places, I think. Rather than just repeating the same thing over and over again. That would have been stale.
I think, I agree with you if they just like kept repeating it, but I think they had like this, they were dangling this thing in front of them, and you can't get to that thing for the story to be interesting. Once you get to it, the story's over.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing, is they continued past the point of when the story should have ended.
And that's what I mean,
That's
like,
fair,
it
that's
should have
fair.
ended when they got out of there. Like, this should end when you guys get out of there. I think if we kept
When they-
going, it's like, we could have
when they
made it,
got
but...
to the actual good place.
Or it's been so long since I watched it, but I remember, like, there was, I can't remember what the point is, but it's like after season 1 or season 2, they get beyond where they're trying to go, and there's just like, the guy that's actually torturing them becomes their friend. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I would strongly urge you to reconsider the
yeah, I know exactly.
character arcs.
Exactly.
And I think that the philosophical underpinning of the show is that, like, even if there were a good place, the ending is so beautiful because it's like eventually even that has to end as well.
I'd like to point out I never finished the series. I
Yeah,
thought it kind of
that's
stopped
why
after a
I
certain
think
point.
it is the way it ends is really
Maybe it's
beautiful.
like Archer and it went through a really bad period and then it got a lot better
You
again.
know, I think that there are some meandering spells for sure.
Yeah.
It just I think each season was so different
Yeah.
from like the
Totally.
there wasn't any, like, if you liked one season you didn't necessarily like the next one because it changed so
It did
drastically.
change dramatically.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that, like, underpinning of the philosophy and the character arcs for me really resonated. I thought it was really
It's
strong.
done so well, like the philosophy of it.
Yeah.
So not really related to
But Clay, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
So The Good Place apparently was a good show and we're wrong. That's the answer to the question. Karen.
I was wondering about the demon in the gorge.
Yes.
Who
Oh yeah, that never came back.
petrified the teardrop and then just flew away and there was something going on there. I was like, this seems like a bad guy who's definitely like
Right.
Yeah,
So
that was gonna be my
coming
question.
back. Like this is the guy, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah, no, I wanted to bring him back, but I never had a good opportunity to. And I agree that was kind of a big oversight. Like, I should have brought him back.
Okay.
He should have been a thing you would have fought again. And, you know, just thinking about it now, what would have been cool is if he was in the shield or he came back at that moment.
Ooh.
That could have been a fun, like, closing of the circle there. But yeah, that was a big open plot hole there. It's like he showed up and then never was again. He's somehow tied to Orpheus's
So I was very
I was
curious
like,
about that.
oh, well, now that we've helped all the sages, this guy's gonna come back really mad at us because we've like foiled his plans or whatever. And
Because he also fought the king, like the dwarf king.
Wait, when did he fight the Dwarf King? Was there
Because there
reference
was
to that?
like a scroll that was like king fight that the guy read out, and it was obviously him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
It's just one of those things, like, where if I'm improvising most things, it's like, you know, we might have some duds like that. And
No,
we just,
that's fair.
no.
That was just such an interesting like character that I was like, what's happening?
Because he kind of left with a "I'll be back."
I think if
he
we,
wasn't back.
if we had continued it in season 1, like we were talking about on break, like if this went the full length without like having a big break in between, I probably would have had a better way to tie him back. But it's kind of like where we ended, I didn't find a good opportunity to bring him back, and then when we came back and the way that went, I also couldn't find a reason to bring him back.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wasn't organic.
But yeah,
I totally forgot about him until
Yeah.
That was
I remember him, and I think about that how he didn't get tied back. Yeah.
I was just more curious about how it relates to Orpheus' story, but that's up to her.
Yeah, we'll talk about everyone's backstories in a second, but I'm gonna, instead of bouncing to you, because I'm sure you haven't. You have your question. Have you thought about your question?
I have a question.
A little bit, but it just left my brain.
Okay, so
I have a
Willow.
I want to know if at the start of the campaign, if you had any like guesses about which characters you thought might get their souls back versus ones that might
Oh
not.
yeah, I totally had this mapped out. I thought half of you would not, and half you
Which
would.
ones?
okay.
So Jens, Samson, and Hati, I thought would not get their souls back and completely fuck it up. I thought they would end up in the pits or in the depths and just be lost there forever. And then I thought you three would be fine.
That checks out.
Really?
Yeah.
When I joined, what did you think? Did you think I would get my soul back or not?
I thought you kind of go along with it, so I was a little surprised when you didn't, but not that surprised. Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
The only one who was like, yeah, totally.
I was like, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds like paradise.
That's pretty good.
And I'll speak for Riley here, and Riley, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Riley would have chosen to come back with you guys.
In the end,
Yeah.
Someone needs to keep telling us about our humors.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jens is humorless.
Yeah.
All right, Emily.
What was happening with the time at Mirage Market? Was that real, or was that just like...
So Mirage Market is just in some sort of like pocket dimension in its own way, where things will move at random paces chaotically, either faster or slower. And when you guys go into it and go out of it, you're experiencing whatever moment it's in. But as soon as you go out, time's moving normally as it was for the rest of the underworld. But when you're in it, it's like it will, you know, it'll be moving along. Then all of a sudden you're not paying attention, it rapidly shoots up. Then all of a sudden you're not paying attention, it rapidly moves up. And it just kind of like operated in its own chaotic way. But the hint was in the name, Mirage Market. Yeah. Nothing here is real, it's all an illusion. Nothing in there was supposed to relate to the rest of the underworld. It was just supposed to be its own chaotic place of randomness.
So this is like a profound statement on the stock market in the real world.
Exactly. It was just another way for me to insert my absurdism into the campaign.
Yeah, like coming back with like the 1920s stock numbers
so
was fantastic. Like totally unexpected. Like, okay, everybody's wearing like zoot suits.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all skeletons.
Bye. It's all.
Bye. I'll take 10,000 souls right here, right now. If everyone's finished, we can move on to the third bottle and the next set of questioning.
All right.
Sure.
I will say the cave whiskey was a big improvement from the non-cave whiskey.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought
I
so.
liked it.
Smoky aftertaste from the
There was so much smoke in there. I felt like I was just drinking liquid smoke.
Yeah, this one is a very smoky one. It's funny because its flavor profile is actually oily and coastal, but it's very peated, so I put it in this lineup here. This one, what are we here? So this was a 12-year aged, and then these two I think are both 18 years.
That's what they say.
Yes, I can't see them. I'm only looking at the back.
Yeah.
This is an 18-year Bowmore. It's very fancy, and this I believe is my Loch Lomond. Doesn't mean anything to you guys, but that's fine. Maybe someone watching.
It has a black label, which means it's fancy.
And it's
That's what I know.
bronze as well.
I'd also like to point out to everyone watching, I'm not being sexist. These two just don't drink.
Whiskey's for the men.
I was worried it might appear that way. It's like, no, it just so happens these two don't drink.
You should retire to the smoke room.
Yes, let's all smoke cigars.
We're gonna go in the kitchen and make some food.
You said it.
We're getting canceled now, guys.
God damn it.
Jeez Louise.
All right,
Yeah.
Connor, we'll start with you. And yeah, I don't know, what do we want to talk about next? I think maybe backstories would be where I'd like to go here.
Yeah.
So I have backstory. I was telling the party when you were out of the room, I wrote goodbyes for everyone who was in the party at the end of season 1, thinking that was like the end of everything. And then when it turned out we were doing another season, I just held on to them. I didn't finish them totally, but I have quite a bit written, so I can read those out.
Please.
But they're goodbyes from Vero to everybody, presumably at the moment before us like being split apart and going back. Like I think in my mind we would all receive our souls and then there would be some way to leave. So the idea was this would be said after we received our souls but before the party split. So it didn't make sense in the real campaign, but
Maybe we'll be going our separate ways after Deirdre's.
yeah,
I
that's
kind of
true.
imagine them like being a unit now, though. Like they are
forget
like
myself.
a party of adventurers.
Well, we're going to the celestial, or Vero's going to the celestial realm to
yeah.
To kill
Absolutely.
so Charizard's dad.
I got.
Someone's gotta
I,
do it.
I have to imagine that the rest of the party would just tag along for that. I have to imagine.
Pick up Willow along the way.
Everyone's got their own responsibilities and things to do. Like I'm not gonna
I could go for some.
I'm not gonna judge.
In my head canon, they stay as a family unit.
Yeah.
I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
Something going through something like that bonds you forever. So
So backstories.
Backstories.
You spoke first.
Yeah,
So-
we'll do this popcorn style, so we'll just go around.
I think Vero did say most of his backstory in season 1, but
Yeah.
I'll go through it more.
Episode 3, Mirage Market.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a young man, a clan of hill giants arrived near the settlement where Vero lived. So Vero lived in this totally pacifist settlement. They were like agrarian, farming grains and other things, and just lived very simply and humbly, but like very, very dedicated pacifists.
drinking
Drinking barley tea, things like that. And hill giants are like gluttonous by nature, so they arrived and just started being like, hey, like, give us some food. And they're thinking of it like, you know, we're like Viking raiders, we're gonna take your food. And the prairie fearbolgs are like, oh, you want food? Yeah, here's food. And then that kind of cycle continued until it was like they're giving less food because there's hardly any food left. Like, oh yeah, sure, no, take some more food even though we're starving. And then of course the hill giants start to like actively raid them and attack them and burn things down. But you know, they still didn't fight because they were total pacifists. And meanwhile, this is happening to all the settlements of different races around. So near the end of a particularly long winter, the settlement's on the brink of starvation, and the hill giants just arrive and just start killing. And because they're like, well, you've got to have more food, and now you're just hiding it from us, and like the prairie field burger like literally just don't have any food left. So then Vero and a few others, for the first time, fight back. And try to stop the onslaught. During the fight is when Vero develops his sorcerer powers, because in this moment of like this turning point in his life, it just like the magic starts flowing out of him explosively. Now this was the first conflict, like violent conflict from anyone in his community, and he's afterwards travels around a bit and sees that like all of the surrounding settlements are just getting decimated by the hill dwarves. So he ends up rallying people from the other settlements who aren't these ultra pacifist Fyrbolgs, and fights back against the hill giants, and eventually drives them away. And then he comes back to his community, and they're like, we don't want to look at you, we don't want you near us, like you don't belong here, get out. And he also kind of internalized that feeling like he had broken something sacred and didn't belong in the community anymore. So then he just set out on the road, and then like, you know, followed the wind, and whenever he felt that he was needed somewhere, then he just, you know, did what he felt he needed to do.
Yeah, that sounds very accurate to me.
Oh.
Who wants to go next?
Maybe we should go in the order that we ascended.
I actually really like that, so I guess Samson, you're next.
Yeah.
So I'll read this backstory that I wrote. It's been a while since I've read it, but I feel like my original inception for Samson quickly faded away. So I'll kind of
As someone who read everyone's backstories, I'd say that's very accurate.
I'll read this, but then I'll kind of speak to how that changed. Samson was raised with the knowledge that due to his lineage, he was destined for greatness. As a result, humility was not something which came naturally to him. After all, he was told since he was a small boy that he was born to be a legendary hero. Eventually, after many adventures and much combat, Samson was tasked with liberating a small farming village from a demon king. Samson knew that the people of this village would go on to sing his song for generations to come, except they wouldn't, because Samson, for all of his strength, was no match for the demon king. Samson was easily disposed of, and to add insult to injury, the demon king chopped all of Samson's hair off. Now Samson wanders the world, a weak and pale shadow of the hero he once was.
Which is definitely how you started.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So the idea was obviously Samson, if you're familiar with like biblical stories, there is a character in the Bible who gets stronger as his hair grows longer. It's like his kind of gift from God. And that was kind of the motif that I wanted to kind of have for the character, is that like his hair would grow longer as his strength stat literally increased, like his hair would grow proportionately. And I really originally wanted the character to be like stoic, like he was going to be like very stoic and sincere, and like not, he was like, it was kind of like Drax, like a Drax character, like just doesn't understand irony or sarcasm at all, like just totally deadpan. I was like, I want to play a straight man. That would be a fun challenge for me. Immediately failed. Was like, I can't do this. Like, just instantly became a goofball and became more like a Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. So, yeah, obviously had so much fun playing the character that way, and he was just such a silly goofball, and really lived up to the appearance label that I gave him, which was himbo. So
That's pretty accurate.
So I think it was Hati next, then Willow, or Willow then Hati. I can't remember.
I think it was
Hati first.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of crazy how when we were creating characters, mine and Samson's, like, they were just so quite similar.
The chosen one.
The chosen one.
Also, because people might not know, you had this character from a previous campaign and brought it in.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think the whole idea behind this this character was that he was taken as a child. He was a Duergar, taken from his parents when he was quite young by a Fey elder. And they, at that time, believed that he was destined for great things. And there was a group of kids that were all taken that were said, essentially they told that one of you is the chosen one that is going to help kind of fight a great evil that's going to come onto this world. And I feel like that's what he was growing up with. The people he had friends with were also kind of on that same kind of mentality. What ended up happening was, as time progressed, most people realized that wasn't the case, and they started turning on the elders that kind of had those prophecies. But Hati continued believing. So he's like, oh yeah, no, this is what I am. I am the real one. And so he was out to prove to the rest of the elders and that, oh no, this is who I'm meant to be. And so I think when I was like thinking about the character, about how it would be, is like very naive in that sense. Is like, oh yeah, no, this is kind of what it is. But also, he is very kind of like open to learning the ways. Like he's like kind of like open to kind of learning from all the different heroes. So that's like kind of where I was like, he was like, oh, this is how he does this. So I feel like I can kind of do something similar. So that's kind of most of what Hati was about.
And an infatuation for magic.
And also he really changes his mind a lot. That's why I was always flip-flopping.
But very decisive when you have an idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just that's how it kind of like, he's like, no, I'm right. I got this. And it's like, well, no, I'm right about this now. Yeah.
I think when I read your backstory, I just thought like decisively indecisive. That's Hati. And I think you played it very well. It was very consistently inconsistent, which was the consistency you wanted.
There we go. The consistency all along.
And Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like Willow's whole thing was like she's very curious, she likes discovering new things, she obviously loves insects and collecting those and trying to like study them and stuff like that. So she used to work for a scientist, and then her like job was to go like out and explore and find new things, bring those discoveries back.
It's a ghost.
Bring those discoveries back. But then one day when she was coming back, she overheard the scientist talking about a plan to kind of like take over everything and come up with like some sort of potion that basically make everyone the same and kind of like quash their curiosity. So Willow very much not against that, and I felt terrible that I was unknowingly helping him the whole time. So I attempted to try to like secretly start working against him without him catching on, but then he did catch on, and then I didn't know he caught on, so he ambushed me when I was out and killed me.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Almost killed you. The deer just sent you to the underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End result was the same.
Yeah.
Who was next?
It was me.
Mr. Goldilocks.
So I think I mentioned a lot of Cyrus's background already, but Cyrus comes from a noble family from the Celestial Plains. So his family are effectively the rulers of the realm in the plane, and they had been ruling there for hundreds of years. Unclear at this point. There is a family tree, but it doesn't really say how old anyone actually gets. So the actual time is up in the air. But anyways, so Cyrus had been living very much a easygoing, noble life. Had to participate sometimes in like various noble events. Had to be a stand-in worshiper as his family positioned themselves as not only rulers but also as gods themselves, which is where Cyrus gets his ideas around what gods are like, because he grew up believing that his father, who was the head of the household, was himself a god just because he ruled over people and the people were forced to pray to him. But when Cyrus was a child, he had a friend who was one of the servants that worked in the house, and her name was Therdania, and they became like best friends. They were always playing together, but then Cyrus's father caught them together, and he was not happy that Cyrus was being friendly with a lower person, someone
help.
who the help, someone who is not worthy of interacting with the Zoral family in this way. So Cyrus was told that he's not allowed to see Therdania anymore, and that was supposed to be the end of it, but Cyrus didn't listen. He continued to try and see Therdania in secret. He was later found out again, and because of this, Therdania and her entire family was banished from the realm. And so Cyrus took that, like his only friend essentially was taken away from him. So he was very bitter towards his family at that point. He realized that he didn't have that, that there was this disconnect between what his family thought was right and what is actually helpful towards the people. So he decided that he's not going to be participating in this sort of culture anymore, and he wanted to try and change that. But he had no real power. He didn't have any of the same godlike ability that he believed his father did. Mm-hmm. So he fled from the palace, and he found his way to an old man who was able to transport Cyrus to the material plane. And his plan was that he would gather followers, become a true god like he believed his father is, so that he could return and then overthrow and become the new god that could be proper and fix all the bad things that his father was doing. That didn't exactly turn out as planned, because there's a whole campaign that went with Cyrus's adventure in the material plane. Yeah. He tried fighting a demon. It didn't work out so well for him. He ended up dying and then being resurrected. Kill. Yeah, power word kill is a bitch of a spell. So yeah, he ended up dying for a little while, came back to life, and then Deirdre chewed him out, saying that he's not strong enough. He can't help anybody the way he is now, so he needed to go into the underworld and...
The intro to this campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Full circle.
Yeah. And last but definitely not least, Emily.
So Orpheus was a prince of hell. So I was... my father was an archdevil and one of the rulers of the hells. And I sort of... I grew up there thinking that all of that sort of stuff was super normal and cool. And kind of just the thing is that my parents and my mom was just a normal tiefling. Both loved me very much, so it wasn't so I assumed that I was in a good place because they loved me and I loved them, and I was like, this stuff is just normal, we're just a normal family.
Just a kid.
I'm just a little guy, so... I spent most of my life, just casually doing horrible things. And then I sort of decided to visit the material plane just kind of on a whim to, see what it was like. And I met my mother's sister, who was just, a normal person and who was a druid. And I visited her grove for a little bit, and I realized that, maybe this wasn't such a great place after all. But the thing that I was having trouble with was that I really believed that I could convince everyone else in my family of this. I could go back and be like, look, this sort of stuff is shitty that you're doing, and we should just, stop doing it. And so I really thought that was going to happen, and because I wanted to be with them because they loved me and I loved them, but it was just not possible because we had this disconnect in our beliefs at this point. And so I was just ultimately trying to break people who were suffering out of the desperation that leads them to do bad things or to make bad deals with people like my father. But I was ultimately just doing it because I wanted my family to get back together because it was the most important thing to me. And that didn't really work out for me. So yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do now because
there wasn't really a happy ending for Orpheus.
Just gonna have to do things that are good for no reason.
Orpheus is basically Little Nicky.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, so that's kind of where he was coming from, and he like it was super recently that I realized that all of this sort of stuff was actually bad, so it was really, really hard for me to do good things the whole campaign, and I was possibly going to be evil at some point. I was considering it.
Yeah. There were opportunities.
But I ended up getting my soul back, which I wasn't expecting.
Good for you.
So yeah, I thought it was
And then the Wizard King worshipped your dad.
Yeah.
Because fiends can be patrons.
Wow, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, what's gonna happen to the Wizard King with that? Is he gonna be okay?
Off screen.
Oh no.
He's fine.
I mean, he's in the underworld.
And so who was the demon that we saw?
I added that.
Okay.
I think you said that like I was gonna marry him.
Something like that, yeah.
And we were gonna rule hell when our dads died.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of took, because what I was doing throughout the entire campaign is I want to take elements of you guys' backstory and drop them into the underworld to kind of like put little hints here and there.
Yeah.
And that was the one for Emily.
Nice.
Yeah.
And mine was Macho Man Randy.
Brother! Help me move this stone, brother!
That was the best one.
I
Oh,
love
yeah, who were
the
the people
backstories
that-
that they would just constantly, that we would improv up and be like, yeah, it's like that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the people that Vero met, those were people from his village.
Yes.
Oh, why were they there?
Why did they die?
I mean, who knows?
Because they were pacifists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to be activists.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Before the...
I can't believe that happened so early in the campaign. I was like, no. The worst thing that Barrow could possibly run into.
I think I had an idea to like do one every session, but I wasn't getting there, and then like that was the first one we did, I think. And then after that I was like, okay, we do Haughty next, and then we did Samson, and then it just kept on going. Then we did
we got
Ryan, which was yours. You kind of got two, because Sullivan's also tied to your backstory, but it was like also I used it as the plot device to bring Willow in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always wanted Solomon to be a midpoint of this, because he was going to come back. Like I said, my entire point for this campaign was just to get Solomon back. I didn't care what happened to you guys. I was just getting Solomon back.
So there wasn't. We didn't even need to go to the wellspring of life or whatever it was. Was it the gyms that were going to? In the,
they're doing that.
Original.
Yeah,
but they
well, it would be.
He's
fun.
already alive again.
It would be fun if they did that, and then Solomon comes back like, we did it.
Are there gyms in your other campaigns?
They're not gyms. They're
Eds.
They were
Yeah.
Edward and Edson, I think, or something, or like Edison or something.
I think.
Eduardo.
Acolytes in the woods, and they were like, we're trying to bring him back to life. We're like, what? Where did you come from?
Right, and they were really scared of bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were level 1. And bears are terrifying at level 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were trying to find like the fountain of life or something so that they could bring him back.
Yeah.
So back to the best thing about the campaign, which was the cave whiskey. What did you guys think about the difference between these two?
I definitely liked the one we just had more.
Yeah, the welcome home hug.
Yeah, this is a very nice one. And we'll move on to the last one and then just close off with just final thoughts about the campaign.
This one was a little harsh, if I'm honest, on me. I like the second one more.
That's fair.
Than the third one.
Yeah.
Pour myself first so I don't damage it. Here, Conrad. If anyone wanted
Honestly,
a little bit more or a
like,
little less, just
I
let me
can't
know.
tell. I can't taste the difference. Like, I could tell the difference between the first couple, but like after the second and the third, it was like
It's whiskey.
it's whiskey at this point.
My senses are dulled somehow.
Yeah.
The second one
Is that enough clarity?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
the welcome home hug reminded me a lot of the Fit for King, just because it didn't have the smokiness.
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
good.
Just a little sip.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pour you guys a little bit because I know you're not all whiskey folk. Give you a tad more than that.
Okay, before we have final thoughts, I have two things from Vero. One, and I cannot. I also I had written out a story that Vero was gonna tell at one point about his father, I guess, and it was directly related to something that was going on, and I cannot for the life of me remember the context. So I'm just gonna read it out, and
Someone can figure it. It's an
not
Easter
gonna
egg.
make any sense, but it's just like a whimsical story from Vero. But he says, now this predicament reminds me of a conversation I had with my father as a young feller. I couldn't have been more than about yay high. My father posed me a question, one of a philosophical sort. He tended to do that. He was a very wise man after all, unlike myself. Young as I would always reply with something off the cuff, something narrow-minded and banal. Now there's one time he asked me, Vero, what is the being of nothingness? And I replied foolishly, the being of nothingness is intrinsically connected to the concept of the self. That in and of itself being connected to the soul, which has a divine connection to nothingness. Now, nothingness being the end of all things embodies the vastness of the cosmos. The being of nothingness, therefore, cannot be separated from the nothingness within the self, and the self cannot be known except externally. Therefore, the being of nothingness cannot be known. And he chuckled. You see, he was always patient with a young boy's simple-minded ideas. And he firmly told me the being of nothingness is nothing, because that's just what nothing is. Nothing. And I admit I hadn't the mind for such complex ideas. But I figured an educated man such as yourself would understand. I guess that was written for Jens. I can't remember. I wish I remembered where that came from.
Well, the last session you referred.
September 15th, 2024 is when I wrote that, so we can find out what the last session was before that.
Yeah.
That would have probably been quite. I think you wrote that after we stopped recording. Then I don't know when. I'll check.
Or maybe I edited it or
Actually,
something.
Maybe it was because Jens went into despair at the end of the first season, right? So maybe that was to help him with his spiral into nothingness.
It was right at the end of that.
I write down dates on all the session pages. So the last session we recorded on September 23rd, 2024.
Okay. Before then.
September 16th was session 16.
Okay, so it was before that even.
And session 15 was September 9th.
So it would have been after that.
So it's probably in relation to something that happened in the session 15, maybe.
Yeah.
Which would have been around when we did the Wish Room, because that was 1415 was the Wish Room. So it's around that time. So it probably fits in.
So Jens couldn't see anything, so he thought there was nothing there.
Oh,
We
no.
were eating cookies or something.
Maybe it was in relation
that,
to the-
or was it the time because they were about to die, right? And we were trying to find a cure for them, and he was maybe afraid about dying
or something at that point.
That was session 13 to 14.
Okay.
But 14 to 15 was the Wish Room with the seeing of nothing, and so the whole nothingness thing reminds me mostly of the Wish Room.
Maybe, yeah.
So it might be in context, because there's a line that Jens has where it's like, I think someone's handing him something and he says something to the effect like, there's literally nothing there. I can't accept what you're giving me because there is nothing. And he goes on for 30 seconds about how there's nothing there, so he can't accept anything that he's being offered.
I love that scene because me and Jens are just sitting there
Yeah.
what? And everyone else is just having a good time.
Everyone else is just eating these cookies.
Oh yeah.
And I remember Cyrus is eating it and explaining to you, and you're like, what does it look like? It looks like Cyrus is miming eating a cookie.
I love. I really.
But it was such a good mime that there's no way that he could have been faking it, because how could someone fake eating a cookie that good?
acting school.
Yeah, Cyrus would have gone to acting school.
Yeah.
Majored in theater.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Minored in art history. That was fun, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That was very fun.
That one's great.
So which of the cave whiskeys do people like the most?
This one's nice. It's got like a almost a sweet flavor to it.
That's what I thought.
It is the sweetest of the three, yeah.
The description says, having dipped orange segments in sugar, we toss them in soot, lemon zest, soot, and birch sap, and burnt toffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
I definitely get the
does
burnt
have
toffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like it definitely is quite similar to the Welcome Home Hug, but just sweeter.
Yeah,
That's what
100%.
I thought it was smoother. Like the
Yeah.
welcome home hug was
Can
like.
alcohol be sweet?
Yeah. I found this to be a lot smoother as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even really appreciate all the flavors in the Welcome Home Hug. It was just a little intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one, the Welcome Home Hug is 56.4 ABV, and this one is 50 point.
Oh, only 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we
The
started with
60.
64.4.
Yeah, that one
makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I had that. I'm like, okay.
That's
yeah.
why I said, like, the lineup doesn't make sense, but the ordering is, like, once you have a peated whiskey, you don't want to have a non-peated whiskey because this kind of, like, saturates your palate with that flavor, and you're not going to really get the notes off this anymore.
What is the ABV?
Alcohol by volume.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a whiskey statistic, like to do with
No, it's...
Approximate peat volume.
They actually calculate that in parts per million. It's like they'll be like ppm for Pete. It's like, oh, this one has 12 ppm or this has 50 ppm.
per million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your original intention with the Demon Shield? Because I know...
Loot.
yeah.
Just chaotic loot.
Chaotic loot. I always like giving banal loot and then loot that if you actually attune to it will be damaging but give you sweet benefits. I love trade-off in D&D. I like giving people really powerful stuff but at a cost.
But who found it initially? Was it Cyrus?
I think so.
Yeah, it was in a chest or something.
Yeah,
And you were immediately like, no.
I think you were
like
immediately
want it
no.
for Cyrus, or were you just kind of like...
It was there. I didn't actually expect anyone to take it necessarily.
Okay.
I was tempted by it, and I'm like, maybe not.
It was
I've
all-
done that
just
already.
jumped in there.
Been there,
Yeah.
done that.
I'll take this.
Yeah.
It was
Let's go
also,
for it.
we had talked about how in season 1 there was a very intentional thing of you guys would feel like you're leveling up every session or two with the incremental improvement from 0 to 1.
Right.
And in season 2 we kind of lost that because we had done that scaling and I didn't have a new one. So I'm like, what's the next thing I can do? Well, maybe give some sort of items and benefit that way and make it a little
Yeah.
bit more tangible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we did. Like, you guys got the better spell
Yeah,
casting.
the books was really nice.
And then I was trying to give the non-spellcasters something.
Yeah.
I could cast Minor Illusion.
You rejected the glaive that would have given you extra attack.
I know. That's
But then there was also like the magical glaives, is like the fire and the
Yeah.
other,
The elemental.
the elemental glaive.
I feel like I was hurt by all the other glaives that I got from the wish room that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I rolled every single time and they had to do the perception check, and if they failed it, or the wisdom save, if they failed it, they would have been hit by it.
Yeah.
But you were just unlucky that those were just high rolls, and like it's just like, oh, they don't see it, nothing happens.
yeah.
Because they don't have wisdom scores or
They had normal
values
wisdom
of
scores.
one.
Yeah, exactly. They had normal wisdom scores and normal hit points. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is like a plot hole in the whole thing, because like everyone there ostensibly doesn't have their soul, but then it's just kind of like everyone you fought does,
Yeah.
because they're native to the plane, so they have their souls. Yeah,
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
that's kind of the thing. It's like the people who are damned there from the material realm, they don't, but then anything that's just like naturally occurring there, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how Willow can go to paradise, whereas some people just live in the celestial planes.
She's in a different one than the one you're from.
Yes, of course.
The better one.
She doesn't.
Oh, you're higher up. All right.
Okay.
Good to know.
She's at the apex of the planar circle.
Wow.
The apex of the
Kalimvor must be
circle.
very
Exactly.
powerful.
When you orient it a certain way, it's the one at the top point.
worshipping Willow.
That's not how it works. Hierarchy in the planes does not mean.
How would you know?
That was one of my classes at art school. I'll have you know, there was a history class. There was a history class we had to take. It was elective, but we had to take it. So.
Inside check.
Well, I
Go
just
ahead and roll
said
that with wisdom now.
Oh no.
You rolled a 4.
Well, I did say that it was an elective that we had to take, so.
Does anyone want to know Jens's backstory?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
So I don't have it pulled up in front of
I'm
me.
so sad he wasn't here for this.
Me too. Well, this is for you, buddy. Jens's backstory was that he grew up a sort of Navy brat, kind of always on the seas and everything, and was a devout worshiper of a religion, but he was obviously forsaken by his God in his most dire moment of need. If I'm getting any of this wrong, sorry, Riley. But he would be very much the type of cleric that would be there in the middle of the fight, helping everyone, healing them, and also getting his hands dirty. And then there was a big cataclysmic event that happened in a town he was stationed at, which was Heigendorf. So for the people from the campaign, you remember how there was that great calamity that happened, and you guys saw it happen in Craigshaft?
Yep.
Well, a similar thing happened in 2 other cities. One of them being Heigendorf, and Riley's character Jens was there for that, but was not able to stop it, and feels like his god forsaken him. That's a short version. I'm sure he'd give you a much longer description.
Right, but then he comes to this and is like very cynical and very calculated about everything because he's not going to trust it. Like,
Questioning everyone's
gonna
beliefs
question
for why
everything.
they're there.
Damn.
And that was a very big part of his backstory, was being very skeptical, questioning everything, not just going to go along with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, he did save our lives a couple times.
You guys couldn't return the favor.
You know we would have.
Yeah. No, that was probably one of the hardest things for me to figure out, was how do I get Riley's character out of it in a way that doesn't make you try and get him back without just being like, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's
Just
too bad
zoom
that
them up.
the audio quality wouldn't have allowed for it, I think. But if we could have just like had him on a call and just be like, we're carrying him around in a crystal ball with us.
Yeah.
Jens, what do you think? And he's just like, I don't know, it's cold in here.
And Sims is like, close, buddy.
We just have like a couple of pre-recorded messages, and we're just like, what do you say this time, buddy?
Just a soundboard with Riley's
soundboard.
Yeah.
We tell him a plan he wouldn't approve of. He's like, we're like, thanks for supporting.
Any other final questions? Thoughts?
I have my Barrow's final goodbyes from season
Oh,
1.
yes, let's hear them.
Now, regrettably, I don't have a goodbye for Willow, so I'm very sorry about that.
It's okay. I
But
left
this,
anyway.
So this was written. This was written with the idea that we would all receive our souls, know that we're just gonna be magically zipped back to wherever we were before. So all wrong assumptions about how that end process would work. But this is what Barrow had in mind. Well, I suppose it's time for us lot to part ways. You are all the finest folk I've had the pleasure of traveling with. Always standing up to injustice when injustice needs standing up to. Y'all lend a helping hand when a hand reaches out in need of helping. And y'all do what needs doing when the doing needs to be done. Samson, with your heart of purest gold and bones of the toughest steel, I have no doubt in my mind that you will continue to do great deeds that will inspire songs for generations. Jens, if all it took was an unsatiated thirst for knowledge and an abounding natural curiosity to right all the wrongs in this broken world, I am sure that there would be no need for heroes like myself, as you would have already righted every wrong and long since set all the other wrongs aright. Hati, I have always believed that one should pursue righteousness without questioning or skepticism, and I am more than happy to say that you have shown me that naive adherence to principles of heroism and kindness is an excellent attribute. Orpheus, I have never known a creature who could both lift my heart with song and bite an enemy so cruelly with their sharp wit. I find myself grateful to have never been on the receiving end of your mockery, and instead call you a great friend. And Cyrus, I do not know what cruel twist of fate bound us sorry lot together around you, but I do know that whatever force of nature it was, it is a kind, benevolent thing that loves all that is good and pure. Farewell, my shining star, and may you spread your message of love out across the plains. And then he fades.
That was beautiful. That was great.